106 miles to Chicago.
Welcome to Costco.
We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
Say hello to my little friend.
Ever dance with the devil in the bedroom?
I'll buy that for $1.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
Get to the shovel! There's no flying in baseball!
And I'm all out of bubblegum.
To infinity and beyond.
I wish I knew how to quit these dead people.
Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe fuck yourself.
It should be Riddick. Escape convict.
There's Johnny.
Murder.
You tell him I'm coming! And hell's coming with me, you hear? Hell's coming with me!
Why so serious?
Don't you like clowns?
Bleed my own blood.
But the English language had deteriorated into a hybrid of hillbilly, valley girl, inner city slang, and various grunts.
Winners go home and fuck the prom queen.
All right. I got the recording going. We should be good. I have last week's episode, and I was just looking through my files. I was like, oh shit, man, I never posted that one. I got it all edited, it's just sitting there. So lucky you, fans of pop culture. I keep trying to point over there where my camera was. It's over here now.
Supposed to be here.
Well, lucky the fans. They get a double episode uploaded.
All right, ask the fan.
Oh dang, Mark's doing a podcast without a hat. It's like tradition. He wears his hat.
I mean, I could wear a hat.
Nah, we don't wear hats. We go raw dog. But you kids that listen should wear hats. It's smart.
Yeah. Put on some hats, kids.
Yes. Gators bitches better be wearing jerseys.
We're adults. We know the risk.
Fucking the other guys, dude.
Yeah.
Oh,
shit. They don't play that shit.
The sound of your piss hitting the urinal sounds feminine. Oh my god, dude, it's such a great movie. I'm a peacock, you gotta let me fly. Oh man. Good shit.
Right.
Well,
welcome to Pop Culture Kick.
That guy said it. I'm so used to being in reverse.
Good,
this guy said that.
Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, or whenever you're watching or listening to this. Good that.
Whenever you're indulging and absorbing our nonsensical information.
Whenever you decide that you want to go to bed, so you got some Adventure Time playing there in the background.
Oh yeah. I love Adventure Time. What you wearing today? What do we got? What's on the shirt?
I think I've worn this before. It's my
my
Black Dahlia murder shirt.
Yeah, nice. I'm wearing a Sasquatch surfing on Jaws.
Of course.
Let's see.
Ooh. All right. So, what do you wanna start out with today? Yeah.
Actually, it's King Kong surfing on Jaws. I just, for trademark purposes, say Sasquatch.
Right, that's true. Yeah.
Well, I got some comics back.
Comic books. All right, let's see.
I got one box. This is not my San Diego Comic-Con ones yet, but these are from MegaCon.
That Death of Superman?
No, this one is yes, I'm sorry. Superman 75. That's looking at the logo. It's a blue
foil.
Yeah, blue foil cover. From MegaCon. That one came back in 98. These foil covers are really hard to grade. As soon as you touch them, they like crinkle.
Right. Or if you get like a little smudge on it or something. They're like, nope. Doll. You got the doggo in the background. Well, okay. Gone now.
Lydia Rand. There's another one. This is
and that's the Superman when resurrected.
no, this is the Adventures of Superman, John Kent #1.
Okay.
This one
Because like I remember after Death of Superman, he got resurrected. He was like electric, and it was like split, right? Had the red one and the blue one.
Yeah. No, this one
Superman's
because it's a foil. You got a 9.6. I don't know. There must be
probably
like the edges of the foil or something somewhere, but
yeah,
so
a crinkle where the staple is or something.
Yeah. Either way, it's pretty cool. 9.6, but whatever. It's all good. Here's another foil.
Oh. Go for it. Send it.
There we go. That was weird. This one I'm kind of bummed about, but I've got like 4 other issues of this one. It's a yeah, I got 4 other copies of it that I haven't sent off to be graded. This is also MegaCon Batman Beyond #1, but it's a foil version.
Oh yeah. Nice.
Also got a 9.6 in that. So again, there's got to be something along the edge somewhere. Oh yeah, I can kind of see it where the staples are, but
yep,
whatever.
But see, that's the thing. You're gonna get that. That's just the nature of putting a staple in foil and paper and stuff like that. Like it's gonna. It's not. There's gonna be an imperfection there. It's just unavoidable. That's physics, man.
Yar. This one, Batman #6, from the New 52 run. I don't remember let me see what this one is, but this one's got a cool cover to it.
Oh, okay. Man Bat? Batman Man Bat or what?
No, it's Batman. Man Bat wasn't in this series. Let me see. That one has, I want to say that's maybe the first Court of Owls. Let me see here. That is, here we go. 4, 5, 6 is the first appearance of Court of Owls. That's what that is. I've got Lady Death Enhancements #1. This is the 200 print run of they're doing like a Stranger Things homage.
Oh, okay, Lady Death, yeah.
Yeah. She's doing
Image, right? Or Dark Horse?
No, they have their own now, Coffin Comics.
Oh shit, okay.
Yeah. This one, unfortunately, it came to me damaged. There's like a mark on it, but it's just a cool cover. You know, that Eddie,
still respectable.
Eddie from Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Then I got another Lady Death here, Oblivion Kiss #1. This was the Star Wars Day, May the 5th. She's in like Princess Leia.
Leia, yeah.
That one came back in 9.8.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool. Did you hear about CAA laying off some peoples?
Man, I seen there's a whole bunch of shit going down.
Yeah, there's like, it's not it's not huge layoffs, but they got rid of about 60 people from like different departments of it. Of course, this stuff was going on like before the strike. Is just kind of
Yeah.
you're kind of leaning out some stuff.
This is Ren and Stimpy #1 from 1992.
Nice.
Got it 9.6. It was still in the poly bag.
Oh yeah.
It's
Yeah.
I love looking at the ads of the old ones. Like this is like the old school like X-Men game from the early 90s. The old Marvel superheroes. They even sent back the poly bag. It's got the Stimpy Snicker or sticker to scratch my nose and it'll smell like a whatever log.
Nice.
Almost done. 3 more. Got another Lady Death, Majestic #1. This is the Halloween metal. So this is a metal cover.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Another naughty version. Yeah. So they make these in like naughty and unnaughty versions. This one, which is just cool, I submitted it, and then they announced Roy Thomas doing a signing, which I was kind of bummed about because I would have sent it to have him sign it. This is Cadillacs and Dinosaurs #1.
Hey.
Yeah, it's a foil embossed cover. Got the old caddy in the corner there. But yeah, this is pretty cool. It's a cool comic, man. Old like 50s style. And the last one, in an homage to Spider-Man 300. This is from Counterpoint Comics. This is Zombie Trump.
God. Okay. That's already worth nothing.
It's just a cool cover, man. I liked it. I have no clue what it's about. I didn't even look at it. I just saw the cover. It's the #1 Fired edition.
Probably about him. Probably about him getting indicted again.
Oh yeah. Well, every time something comes up, they want to keep something out of the news, you know.
Oh no, this ain't something coming up. This is over like shit that's already happened.
Yeah, I know. From stuff they've already talked about.
There's nothing coming up. This is all just fucking blowback from.
Yeah. Well, it's the timings always seem to be interesting on all of these when other shit's happening in the news.
Well, yeah, true. I mean, it's always been about timing, right? Especially when it comes to politics.
Oh yeah.
Right. They always strategically do shit.
Decide when to push the story.
When to bring the stuff to light. Just like there's like another congressman just somebody, I forget who it was, but they just put out articles of impeachment for Biden.
Mm-hmm.
Which who knows if that's going to go anywhere. I mean, ever since Clinton, I think almost every president since Clinton's been impeached.
Yeah.
It's fucking weird. It's always going to be that way. Like every single president from fucking now until the heat death of the universe is going to get impeached because every single time they do something that the other side disagrees with.
Yeah,
exactly. They're gonna try to impeach him.
Well, I mean, they've, you know, a lot of it now there is so much separation and just distrust between.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
in the
it's
amount,
so divided. Yeah.
Yeah, it's you know, everything they do now has to have an army of lawyers on everything that's said and done. That nobody gets the jobs done anymore. Because they're all too busy worrying about it. Are they going to go to jail or not?
Right, that's been politics for decades. They don't get anything done.
No.
Politicians don't work.
No, it was, what was it? Jen was telling me, I looked it up, like Biden's been on, like had the most vacation time than any other president in history.
I mean, besides Trump, like fucking Trump was always on vacation too, dude. He's always down in Lago Vista. Is fucking
yeah.
But fuck, dude, like they don't do shit.
Yeah, he's been on vacation. Like I forgot what the number was. It was something crazy. Anyway.
Anyways.
So yeah, so those are the newest books in. I've got another like I don't know 20 still sitting at CGC.
Yeah. So, as of Friday, Barbie.
Oh, I was gonna say let's get some box office numbers. God damn
has
it.
hit $1 billion worldwide.
Yeah. Actually, I had part of that in my story as well.
Boopity boopity. Greta Gerwig
is
for female directed.
Yep.
She
She
highest grossing female director.
Yep. She just opened up some big doors. I mean, because you got some, rock star female directors out there, right? Like Patty Jenkins, right, who did the Wonder Woman, and she's got that eye, and she was supposed to do that Rogue Squadron movie, but that got pulled.
Yeah.
And she was all fired up about that. She was gonna make it Top Gun, but Star Wars.
Yeah.
Sucks Disney pulled that because I was actually pretty excited about that.
I mean, there's still opportunities to do, maybe not with Disney, but like, try doing the what was it? We talked about it on a previous podcast. I think you said it was like Zack Snyder wants to do his own sci-fi.
Yeah, he's building
sci-fi thing.
Yeah, he
could build that universe, and she could fucking go in and direct one of those movies or a trilogy of her own. I mean, the sky's the limit.
Yeah, they wouldn't give Zack Snyder a Star Wars, so he built a Star Wars competitor.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, there's still opportunities for her there, even if she's not, working with Disney.
Boo. Lydia.
Probably be with Warner Brothers, right? Yeah, there she is now.
Lydia Boo.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's awesome. But how many more Mattel, I think they said they have something like, what was it? It was like 135 projects all getting ready to go or something like that. Everything Mattel owns now is opening up. We have a Magic 8-Ball movie coming. We have a Hot Wheels movie coming. We have a Crayola movie coming. We have a Matchbox movie coming. We're going to get, before long, we're going to have Milton Bradley joining this game, and we're going to have a Chutes and Ladders movie and a Candyland movie.
Yeah, I mean,
although if they did Candyland all crazy like this show right here, that actually might be pretty entertaining.
Like a lot of that stuff is uninteresting, though. I mean, fucking a Chutes and Ladders movie, really?
It's all of that's coming. The floodgates are opening. We're getting Monopoly movie.
They're milking it.
Oh yeah.
They're gonna. I mean, I don't know, dude. It's that now we're gonna get inundated with fucking video. Not video game movies, but fucking board game movies. Like
well,
Battleship. Battleship was like it was all right. It was an all right movie. But it was nothing like.
It didn't feel like the game though.
Right. Well, because they were fighting fucking aliens. Not even they're not even doing a strategy of fucking guess and hit and guess and miss type shit. So it's loosely based on the board game.
Exactly. So Mattel, some of the top brands from Mattel, right? You got Barbie, Hot Wheel, Fisher Price, American Girl. You know, they do the I mean, hell, we might even get like a Little People movie. You know, they've got
I want to be in that movie.
Here you go.
Be in that movie.
All brains.
Since I'm manlet, I could be in the Little People movie.
So Mattel owns the rights to these things, right? And I'm gonna skip like Disney stuff, right? Because that just means they own the rights to the toys, not those rights. Yeah. So they got
not the film rights,
yeah. They got American Girl, Barbie, Enchantimals. They own everything under the Fisher Price house. Imaginext, Karma's World, Laugh and Learn, Linkimals, Little People. Masters of the Universe is owned by Mattel, so you know. Matchbox. Then you have
which they've already been talking about. They've always been teasing a Masters of the Universe movie, right?
Yeah, they've got the Netflix.
Everybody wants Terry Crews as Prince Adam.
they've got the Netflix shows. They got 2 different cartoons on Netflix right now.
Yeah.
Monster High, which is really popular, right?
Yeah.
That would probably be one coming up. Polly Pocket was just greenlit, so there's a Polly Pocket.
Yeah, I remember those toys. I remember those commercials.
Power Wheels, Thomas and Friends. I believe Mattel owns that now. Uno. They did greenlight an Uno movie too.
No. What?
Yep.
Stupid.
Well, like
what lore do you have with Uno?
I don't know.
Get the fuck out of here.
Now the Crayola one sounded interesting because it's going to end up being a history based movie, you know, like Oppenheimer, but for like the creation of Crayola and the colors and the crayons and how it changed the world for kids and stuff like that. So that might actually be interesting.
Yeah.
You know,
well, because that's more of a documentary.
Right. Well, they can do it like The Founder with Michael Keaton of the McDonald's movie. That movie was fucking awesome. That's a good movie. That's a great movie. So yeah, I'm down for that. But I don't know about Uno, and I think Magic 8 Ball is a rated R horror movie that they're going after. Like,
see, that would kind of lend like that. That's good, you know.
Yeah,
like,
it's in the vein of that Talk to Me and other shit.
Yeah.
You know, Ouija.
Or like the Magic 8 Ball, like predicts your fucking death or something. You know, like that's cool.
Yeah,
like I'm down for that.
Well, like Ouija, right, is a board game from like Milton Bradley.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be interesting. Some things may be good, and because I think Hot Wheels, they're looking more at a, you know, obviously it'll be like a Need for Speed racing type movie.
Yeah, like the Gran Turismo movie or something.
Something like along those lines. Yeah, I don't know.
We'd be like, we're gonna train this kid who plays with Hot Wheels to drive race cars.
Well, you know that Gran Turismo
He'd
one's
be even younger, right? He's gonna be like 6.
That Gran Turismo one's a true story.
Yeah, okay.
That the
based on a true story.
Well, yeah. Well, the kid that is the race car driver that got hired for playing Gran Turismo, he actually played one of the pit crew people in the movie. He's in the trailer.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, look at. I mean, based on a true story is a fucking. It's a way to sell a movie, right? It's a way to sell a movie as being authentic when like 90 to 95% of it didn't happen. It's completely fucking made up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at that Sound of Freedom movie. That's a big example, right? That guy's a fucking fraud. Like the dude that Jim Caviezel fucking plays in the movie.
Is that the one that was just arrested for kidnapping?
No. That was one of the.
That's the producer,
That was
right?
one of the people that funded the movie.
Okay.
Right? That was one of the donors.
Okay.
But no, actually, Vice did a couple fucking deep dive articles on this guy, like 5-6 years ago, about this guy claiming to be rescuing kids and stuff like that. Like, he's claimed to rescue kids that he didn't really rescue, or he's kind of inserting himself into like a bigger part.
He was like just there.
People's rescues, whereas like, yeah, he may have been part of, and he started a company, right? He started a company in order to fight against human trafficking, specifically kids and stuff like that, right? So his heart's in it, right? And he probably has been a part of some investigations to help take down some of these human trafficker groups and stuff like that. But there's specific things specific claims that he's made that other people have been like, no, that's not true. Like, you didn't do that. And then now he's not even a part of the company that he started.
Yeah.
Part of it. So, this movie is like mostly fiction. Like, it's based on there. Like, yes, like it's based on a real guy who started a real company to, fight against human trafficking and stuff like that. But the guy's a grifter.
Then it goes into more fantastical elements.
Right. Well, it starts to, you start to get for the dramatic effect and all this stuff, for a film, and everybody that I've talked to that has seen the film liked it, right? The director of the film, first off, it was never a political thing, right?
Right.
The director never wanted it to be a political thing. It was a way to highlight what's going on with human trafficking, right? Because the director is a Mexican director.
Yeah.
And a lot of these kids will end up in Mexico and other parts of the world. So he was trying to do a service by highlighting that these activities are going on, and if you can shed a light into these kinds of activities, then you can get law enforcement, you can get agencies attention to really hunker down and really start investigating this stuff and fucking going after these people, because nobody other than the human traffickers themselves is going to say that this is a good thing that they're doing, right? Everybody, no matter what side of the political spectrum you're on, everybody agrees that human trafficking and child human trafficking and child slavery and slavery as a whole is a bad thing, right? That's apolitical, right? Because it doesn't matter what side you're on. It doesn't matter how far right, how far left you are. It's not right. Everybody knows. If you're a moral person, no matter where you get your morality from, whether it's religion, whether it's the law, whether it's political, whether it's just human empathy, no matter where you get your morals from, everybody can agree that it's evil. Child trafficking, evil, right?
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're just a complete psychopath, or you're in the human trafficking fucking business, then right, you're an immoral person, right?
Yeah. So
yeah. So they've politicized the movie more than it needed to be. But that's also kind of Jim Caviezel's fault too, because as much as he is an actor, he's also a political advocate or activist, and he's a religious political activist, right? So he's kind of like, he's come out. There's interviews on him with him in podcasts and other interviews where he's spoken about these conspiracy theories about the whole adrenochrome thing and shit like that. Like, he's one of those people that thinks that the Democrats are a cabal of fucking infant fucking slayers that that consume adrenochrome to fucking stay young and shit. Like, it's way the fuck out there.
You mean more than what's his face from Blink 182 thinking aliens are real?
Right.
Some of these guys have got some pretty crazy shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you had that guy that testified to fucking Congress. a couple weeks ago, that claims that he knows people who, who.
Yeah, well, he was the guy that had the keys to
found
all the doors, right?
Alien technology and alien remains and stuff like that, but like you can't, or like what, alien biology, right? He used a fucking word like biologics. I think, yeah, biologics. He said alien biologics, right? Is what they've supposedly found, but even testifying, in front of fucking Congress, he claims to know people, but won't make it public record of the people that he knows, right? I don't even think he's even made it known to them privately with the people that have the proper clearances about who he knows and that. So,
even if you did tell him, the people with the higher clearance would just come down and tell him to be quiet about it anyway, if it was there. So,
right. Well, it's misdirection then, right?
Exactly.
At this point, you're like, so these people are talking about this on the surface level publicly. So what's going on privately? Then?
Yeah. So
what are they not talking about?
We've been hearing in the last 2 years more about UFOs and aliens from the news and from the government than anywhere else. So is this something where they know about it and they're just trying to prepare the public, like little by little? Like what are they doing here? Like, why is so much coming out now?
But then you go into the territory of like Ancient Aliens guys like David Icke and fucking
I love Ancient Aliens.
Eric
Think.
Von Daniken and shit.
Yeah.
Where they're like talking about fucking lizard people and stuff like that. Like, I mean, I'm sure that Jim Caviezel probably believes that shit too. That all the fucking politicians.
Yeah, I'm not talking about lizard people. I tell Jen all the time. I'm like,
well, that's where the Ancient Aliens camp comes from.
Yeah.
It comes from that camp. It comes from that Eric Von Daniken, the guy that wrote Chariots of the Gods, and David Icke, who wrote about the lizard people. Like, that's where that show comes from. It's all fucking pseudoscience.
Yeah,
it's on History Channel.
I like the stuff where they go back and they talk about the, how like the Druids, which is like one of our oldest written stuff that we have, right? And they're talking about the, the sky people and shit.
It's entertaining, but it's not real,
yeah.
Right? The thing is like I've seen interviews with actual like archaeologists and actual scientists and people, who've done all the research, who they had on the show. And it's all about the editing and all about how they make context, right? It's all about the show's edited in a way that these people go on and they're giving, a real factual account of something that was found on an archaeology, like a digging site or something like that. But they take them out of context and they edit it so that the context is aliens.
Yes.
I mean, it's an entertaining show, right? They're running with this flight of fancy, right? They're starting with the premise that ancient aliens helped human civilizations. So everything that they're going to put in the show is going to be what they're going to call evidence of aliens, helping out ancient human civilizations and progressing human civilizations and stuff like that. And by that logic, they're also not presenting actual evidence and stuff like that against their theory, right? They're always talking about ancient astronaut theorists say that this might have happened, right? It's always like this might in, possibly was and stuff like that, right? It's like they're not even making a hard stance on it either, right? They're just going it's a confirmation bias, right? Where they're promoting the circumstantial evidence or anything that they can argue that proves their theory, and not talking about the mountain of evidence that disproves their theory. rhetorical theory, not scientific theory. That's the other thing too, right?
Mm. I think the Earth was seeded by aliens, and that's where we came from.
Well, but see, that's the thing. Maybe, but
Can't prove it.
was it? But
Can't
was
disprove
it?
it.
Well, it's just like the God thing too, right?
Exactly.
You can't prove or disprove that God exists either, right?
Which
Even
one?
built. It's even built into the religions that it cannot be proven, that it can't be proven and it can't be disproven. But there's also a famous quote by Christopher Hitchens that says, "Any claim that can be paraphrasing here, any claim that can be made without evidence can also be dismissed without evidence."
Yes. We're
Which
all
again
aliens.
is something they've been debating for decades and all that stuff, right? And
It's
we
not
don't have to go into it, right? I mean,
It's not
this
even
is
our
not,
planet.
yeah.
We're travelers dropped
But
off
here's
here
the thing,
to
right?
seed.
Because you're looking at like the Alien universe where it had the architects, right? That seeded Earth and stuff like that. Like that's a hypothesis.
I don't even
It's
think like
certainly
that. I think they just dropped off a load of people here, and
bam.
the overlords will be back one day, and they're like, "Oh, our snack box is full. Time to harvest."
Right? I'm not harvest all of our vitamin and mineral filled organs.
we're just meat bags for the overlords.
We're just carrying a liver that they can
Yeah, we're organ farms.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's a hypothesis, but it's also, there's the panspermia hypothesis too, that, maybe life was seeded from like another planet or celestial body, but it may not have necessarily been the act of
Yeah.
an alien civilization.
Oh, we know an asteroid or something hit that had biological material on it, cracked open, dumped into the ocean, and then spread life.
And that's the nearest
Space sperm.
hypothesis. That's one of the nearest hypotheses that they actually have. As far as
It would show how we've evolved more than the rest of the animal population has, right?
Well, so they know that there are organic compounds in meteorites and asteroids and stuff like that, in comets especially. So comets is kind of one of the biggest thing because comets are icy bodies that that when they heat up, there's gas. They can also go to like a liquid form, right?
Yep.
And there's in was it organic compounds are pretty common throughout the universe, right?
Well, they found them on Mars, right? The dead microorganisms from the water and all that.
Yeah, well, they don't know if that's maybe, but we might have also introduced that by sending rovers over to Mars because there may be a contamination, or the other hypothesis is that maybe organic life might have originated on Mars and somehow seeded Earth. There's all these hypotheses.
Meteorite could have hit Mars and launched the debris towards us.
Right, launched the debris towards us, and then organic compounds, and then
because Mars had a system way before ours, right? Because it went away before ours came in.
Right. So Mars used to have an atmosphere. It used to be.
Could you imagine, like, if you had a telescope back in the day of the dinosaurs and looked at Mars, at how different that planet would be?
Yeah. Right.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. 65 million years ago.
5,000 years ago.
Yes. Well, I mean, humans have been looking at the stars for,
ever.
Thousands of years. I mean, they're talking about, your earliest hominids pop up in the fossil record like 100,000 years ago. So,
yeah.
They didn't have any telescopes back then that we know of, right? That we've been able to find, right? It's always in the archaeology, right? It's always in the fossil records. It's always in these dig sites, right? Just like, going back to the religion thing, there is no evidence at all that that Israelites were ever slaves in Egypt, or even came close to Egypt. They have found they would find pottery. They would find remnants of these people's culture and stuff like that in these dig sites, that archaeologists do, that anthropologists do. They have found no evidence whatsoever. There's also no evidence of the Passover happening, where the firstborn of every fucking Egyptian family died. There's no record of any of that ever happening. And that's all in the Bible, and that's all what a lot of people take on faith as being truth.
Yeah.
Where in the real world, there's no evidence of any of that happening.
And we all know the Egyptians were chattermouths with the amount of hieroglyphics they put all over the place. They wrote everything down.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. All these
history's cool.
Tombs, sarcophagi, all that shit. I mean, yes, they have written records. I mean,
everything.
Yeah. They documented a lot of fucking shit. So
Tut took a shit at this time.
Yeah. Right, exactly. And they probably still have the fucking shit that King Tut took.
Probably.
Fossilized,
Yeah.
They buried it with his mummy. They buried all of the shit that he shit over his entire life with.
That's what they sealed his coffin with. They just fucking gilded his turds.
That's what they're breathing in when they fucking unseal the sarcophagus. Just his fucking poo dust.
Yeah, that's the disease, the curse they think they're getting. It's just dysentery from thousands of years ago.
Okay. Well, think about this. Like, even thousands, even millions of years ago, you've heard about those microorganisms that they found in fucking in like glaciers.
Yeah, I was gonna say, when they're doing those core drillings, they're pulling up the diseases
that are microorganisms
that have been frozen for a million years.
Yeah, bacteria that we don't even have a fucking immunity for, because it's been dormant for fucking hundreds of thousands, if not millions of years.
Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah, they're bringing up those frozen core samples from the Antarctic. Well, actually, the whistleblower was talking about all that shit that's going on at the Antarctic too, man. He's like, the government won't let you down there. They won't let you see any of that shit that's going on. None of the world's governments.
Unless you're a researcher. That's the thing.
Or rich.
Like, if you're in those fields.
Yeah.
Nah, even. I mean, they won't let Elon Musk.
If Jeff Bezos wanted to go, he'd drop money and go.
They won't let Elon Musk on fucking Antarctica. I mean, that's just for research. It's for research purposes only. That's all it is,
That's where the zombie apocalypse is going to come from.
But at the same time, we've also seen reports of, crimes happening in Antarctica that just go unpunished because there's no enforcement, right? Because Antarctica belongs to the world, and therefore,
neutral,
if a crime happens, who punishes it, right? Is it the nation that the offender is from, or the nation that the victim's from? Who does the investigations? Like, dude, there's a whole can of worms when it comes to Antarctica, and just not even the core samples and fucking hidden Nazis in the
cave.
In the caves because of the hollow earth theory and stuff like that. It's like just real life shit that happens down there that's way more fucked up than what you could imagine.
Yeah, they had that ship that chased those Nazis down in World War II, right? And then came back and it had the big tear marks in the sides of it, and they talked about monsters and giants and UFOs and shit, all on official military record.
Speaking of monsters,
ooh,
Meg 2.
Did you go see it?
No, but Shelby did.
Oh,
Shelby and she said it was fucking bad. Like, it was bad.
Well, I mean, the trailer looks
not one of those movies that's
good, bad?
So bad it's good.
Yeah,
it's just it's so bad as
like Meg 1.
Well,
Meg 1 was like that, right? It was bad, but it was fun.
Well, right. Meg 1 was so bad it was good. But, like, Meg 2 is just, like, so bad that it's bad.
Oh. Real quick, back to that Gran Turismo thing. Jan Mardenborough is the dude. So the movie tells the real life story of this guy who did a contest through the video game, got an opportunity, went through the school. I mean, obviously they're gonna fantastical, some of the stuff for the movie, right? But he got an opportunity to go to driving school, and then he now drives for Nissan or Nissan, however they say it in the movie. So it's still cool. It's like what was that movie? The Last Starfighter, right? Remember that in the 80s where he plays the arcade game so good that the galactic empire comes down and we need you to save the universe.
Need you to pilot, yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, and that's cool,
Yeah.
It's great that, that guy got that opportunity.
I just wanted to call his name because we were talking about it earlier.
Yeah,
I kind of thought that the Meg 2 was going to be like that because the trailer just...
Yeah.
They tried... You could tell they tried to play it off by the soundtrack they used and all the stuff in the trailer, that they're having more fun with it. But Jen and I went and saw a movie over the weekend.
Just because it's fun doesn't make it good, though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Even in a turn your brain off fucking sense, sometimes it's just a movie just turns out it might be a lot of fun, but it's still not good.
You should have just left it at 1 and just been good.
Yeah.
It's like Sharknado, right? The first one's stupid fun, and then you get Sharknado 9.
Well, the thing about that is those movies are so cheap to produce, though.
Well, and they're...
That's why they were able to make 9 of them, because it's so cheap to produce that it's gonna fucking make money.
Well, and they played into that much heavier. Meg 2 didn't try to play into that.
The and the kitsch and all that stuff, when they had Mark Cuban in it and stuff, which he's probably one of the financiers of that movie. He probably threw some money in there just so he could be in the fucking movie. Dan Bilzerian, that fucking douchebag paid to be in a fucking movie and shit. Don't go down the Dan Bilzerian fucking rabbit hole. Dude's a fucking turd.
So Jen and I went and saw. So Friday was our anniversary, so we went. We went and saw The Last Voyage of the Demeter.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Dracula. It was good.
Dracula.
It was good. It brought horror back to the Universal monsters, right? This is this movie is based off of a chapter out of Bram Stoker's Dracula movie, book.
Yeah.
It was good, man. It blood and carnage, and it doesn't take long to get to it. That's for sure.
Right. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, good movie. I mean, good vampire movie, monster movie.
Chase.
Do what?
I said cut to the chase.
Yeah. Vampires
cool.
and people die. Bloody and violent.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, it was cool to see, just a good monster movie, and the fact that they can take a chapter out of this Dracula book without making the whole Dracula movie again and then just giving us a little section. They made an entire movie off of one chapter, which was cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it was good. It's not one you have to see in a movie theater, for movie theater's sake. I think, if you're a fan of Dracula and monster movies, go see it just so we can,
Well, I mean, if you want movie theaters to even be around in 10 years, then
yeah,
I want to go see it.
If not, I imagine that they'll be dropping it on what Universal is, Peacock. I think that's their app, Peacock. It'll be on there, I'm sure, at some point.
Yeah,
it's not going to live long in the theaters compared to Barbie and. Because I think Universal owns NBC, right? Isn't that Peacock?
Yeah. NBC is Peacock.
Yeah, and Universal owns NBC. So, and ABC or something. I don't know. Disney's ABC.
No, Disney owns ABC.
Yeah. I mean, it's not going to be in there long, just due to the competition that's out and that's coming out. So.
Yeah, I mean, Barbie's still leading. Like, it's 3 weeks in a row that Barbie's still topped. In box office.
What else we got box office numbers on? How are the other movies doing? What's our weekend looking?
Let me check real quick. Barbie. So the latest dailies, right? Get the ticker tape out. Latest dailies. Barbie, Oppenheimer, Mutant Mayhem, Meg 2, and Last Voyage of the Demeter. That's the top 5.
Okay.
For Friday.
I think Oppenheimer hit a new milestone, didn't it? Like in the top of rated R movies now or something. Like it's getting up there.
I didn't see that. It might have.
I saw that it's like the
worldwide. It's 577 million.
Yeah, it's not number one, but
almost half of what Barbie's made.
Yeah,
worldwide.
It's still impressive, man.
I mean, yeah. Definitely, yeah. For a rated R, I didn't see anything about the a record for rated R, but
I think I think I saw on there. It's like the 8th highest. Because, like, Joker's up there, right? Joker's was, like, the first rated R movie to make $1 billion, I think.
Deadpool's up there.
Deadpool 1 and 2.
Yeah, both those are up there,
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense, though, because, I mean, it's a great film.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a cinematic film, right? Like,
exactly.
It's true cinema.
Well, that's Chris Nolan, man. Even the way he approached his Batman movies, everything was on film and everything was, he hasn't switched to digital, even though they tried to get him to.
Trying to see if I can find a chart for the rated R, because I mean they have.
I've seen it.
Box Office Mojo website has like a lot of charts, based on different stuff. Like if they have top opening weekends for rated R. But Oppenheimer is not in the top 10 for that. So Oppenheimer's in the top 11 opening weekends for rated R movies, which is impressive.
Here you go.
Deadpool is still number 1.
So this was
as far as opening weekend. Deadpool 1 and 2 take the first and second spots. It and Joker and Matrix Reloaded round out the top 5 for opening weekends.
Okay, here it is. It's Oppenheimer is it's in the top 10 now, reportedly coming out a couple hours ago. So they just might not have updated the list.
Well, that's opening weekends.
Oh.
That's not top, that's not box
all
office.
over. Okay, yeah. This is let's see. Because they've got, Chris Nolan's. The movie has now reached 577 million, making it one of the top 10 highest grossing rated R movies of all time. Oppenheimer now joins Logan, which was at 614. Passion of the Christ, 622.
Logan and Passion of the Christ are in the top 10 as far as opening weekends too. Yeah.
What is Detective Chinatown 3? It's 699 million.
Chinatown? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it says Detective Chinatown 3, 699 million.
Detective Chinatown? Oh.
I don't know what that is.
All right, yeah, okay, so here it is. I have the chart pulled up for top lifetime grosses by MPAA rating.
Okay.
So rated R, and this is only domestic. Passion of the Christ is number 1. And it's probably also adjusted for inflation.
Yeah.
A lot of times, right? Like, every time everybody talks about, like, Titanic being, like, one of the highest grossing, they always say it's adjusted for inflation, right? What was, like, $1 billion at that time is, like, fucking worth, like, $3 billion now or whatever. So Passion of the Christ is number 1. Deadpool is number 2. American Sniper is number 3. But, yeah, Oppenheimer on this chart is in 10th place.
Okay.
For top lifetime grosses by R rating. Joker's there, It's there, Deadpool 2, Hangover Parts 1 and 2. Beverly Hills Cop is number 11. That's cool.
Yeah, dude.
Eddie
Axel.
Murphy.
Axel.
Logan is in the top 20.
So it says on Wednesday, Oppenheimer took Beverly Hills Cop out of the 10th spot.
Yeah. Yeah, Terminator 2 Judgment Day is 21.
Oh yeah, okay. So
Here's one. Wedding Crashers is 19.
I love Wedding Crashers.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I've got two different lists here. This is domestic, and then I have worldwide.
Yeah,
this one's got Beverly Hills Cop, Oppenheimer, Hangover Part 2, Hangover, Matrix Reloaded, Deadpool 2. So
yeah.
What you just said.
Worldwide, worldwide is Joker.
Yes.
Joker's number 1 for worldwide. Deadpool 2, Deadpool.
Yep, Matrix.
Yeah, and then I see this Detective Chinatown 3.
I'm wondering if that's got to be a Chinese movie, probably. You know?
Yeah.
Because China's the largest movie market. So.
Yeah, it only released in China, Hong Kong, and Australia.
Damn, dude.
And New Zealand.
That much money? Jesus. Now I want to see this movie.
Well, it's it's domestically distributed by Warner Brothers. It's an action, adventure, comedy, mystery. Whatever the fuck that means.
Holy shit. Dick Tracy. It's got the mystery, the action.
You would bring up Dick, wouldn't you?
You know.
Yeah. So, all right.
Now we both owe Warren Beatty, $20 for saying Dick Tracy.
Right.
You know what's crazy is he bought the rights to Dick Tracy when he made that movie.
I didn't know that.
He owns Dick Tracy. That's why we haven't seen anything, because he doesn't want anything else to be made except for his.
Man's got to die sometime.
I know, dude. Dick Tracy's so cool, dude. Like, you could make the old Dick Tracy, like on Paramount Plus. They've got a movie called Dick Tracy Meets Gruesome, which is the guy who played Frankenstein. Long Chain. No. What was his name? Oh my God, Boris Karloff. It's got Boris Karloff as the bad guy, plays Gruesome, right? Real ugly, just mug looking face. Think Keith, right? And
right. Think Keith, but prettier.
Yeah, but this movie was made in like the 40s, and it just even today in the high def that's on Paramount Plus, it is so crisp and so clean, because the higher grit and the higher quality film back then just translates to HD so much better.
Yeah.
I mean, look, what was it?
You look at any of the Hitchcock movies too.
Yeah.
Right.
Look at
like Psycho and the Birds. The Birds, especially.
Well, even Frankenstein and Dracula from the 30s.
Yeah.
I mean, Ben-Hur, which was filmed in that massive
Lawrence of Arabia.
That mass. They had to extend the theater for Ben-Hur because they used such a high grit, high grain film that was so big. I mean, that stuff today is like, 20K with how detailed it was.
Yeah, well, see, and that's why the 4K thing kind of blew up, because 4K was essentially supposed to be the digital resolution equivalent to 35 millimeter film.
Yeah, which is crystal clear. If you watch something that was made not upgraded or upscaled, but filmed in 4K and reproduced back on 4K without degradation, that shit looks sharp. That shit looks good.
Oh yeah.
But most things are not in 4K, and that's they're upscaled to 4K, or they're received in 720.
Well, unless you have a big director like Chris Nolan or Steven Spielberg or somebody like that that has made these major studios so much money, or Cameron that actually
invents the
fucking
tech
just,
to do it.
that actually builds the cameras that can do that. You know, you're looking at like Panavision, right? They have the Genesis, which I know Cameron, he had his hand in that, like the Genesis cameras where they were doing the 3D and shit, right? Ultra high def, higher than ultra high def type resolution on those cameras.
Yeah.
But yeah, you only have, you know, big directors like that can command that sort of thing.
Yeah,
right?
like the most common one now today is like the red camera, right? That's what, because it's
the red one.
Yeah, the red one, because it's cheaper to get a hold of.
Yeah. Like you can rent it for, you know, you can rent the camera and operator for, you know, pretty decent. But the only thing is it is when you actually look at the financials of filming with digital over 35 millimeter, there's not a whole lot of difference. There's not a lot of margin there, because even with digital, you have to remember that you need something to store it on, right? So they take up fucking hard drives worth of
terabytes and terabytes and terabytes.
Yeah, I mean,
they load them like magazines into these fucking things.
Yeah. So, you know, the cost to run digital over film is kind of even.
Yeah, I mean,
it just depends on the director's creative vision.
If you want to see how much it takes, right? Like take my SLR camera there, or mirrorless camera. If I put that baby into 8K, right, which is what Red One usually does, and then they downgrade what they're doing to 4K or 1080.
Yeah, they gotta compress it. Yeah.
Yeah. So if I recorded in 8K off of that digital raw on a I think that's a 512 memory card on that one, I only get like 18 minutes.
Yeah.
On that, you know, if I throw a terabyte card into it, you know, I might get 30 minutes of filming time. Now think of how many takes sometimes it takes in these movies, right?
Yeah.
That's why they have these massive hard drives that are like 20 terabyte, you know, and it's just single drives all set to one, and they load the cartridge.
Yeah, and then they have the editors looking through the dailies and all that stuff, and they're you know, while they're in production, they're already working on post production.
That's what Kevin Smith does.
Looking through fucking shit, tons of dailies and all that stuff, and that's a lot of data. That's a lot of storage.
Yeah. When Kevin Smith films his movies, he has his hard drive or his laptop there, and when he's done filming for the day, he goes to the hotel and he's already editing footage and putting it together, because he edits his own stuff. And
he's pulling out the best takes, right? The best performances that he can from the people.
So that way he can get it out faster.
Yeah. And then that's not even like, you know, that's Kevin Smith's, you know, films. Like when you're talking about like these big tentpole films.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't have, you know, Marvel sized green screens and you know,
and all the CGI that needs to be done.
Yeah.
Those arms and shit.
God damn, dude. Can you imagine James Cameron, like, you know, Avatar, the post-production chaos of that, dude?
Yeah. Well, and that's one of the other thing is, you know, that's a creative decision that the director makes, the producers make, and all that stuff, depending on how much CGI they're going to use, because obviously if you're going to go heavy on the CGI, then digital is going to be, you know, your best bet, because that's how it's going to be easier to do that, right?
Exactly. I just think of just thinking of like Godzilla, King of the Monsters, right? How all the monsters going, the cities going, all that shit, and the people are just running through green screens and stuff. Like, you know, no one out there knows what anything looks like except for the director who's got that visual in his head. And he's relaying that, you know, and he's got the art team already working on shit in the background.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, you have to, like, trust the process of he's envisioning this in his head. Like, that's crazy to think about. Like, you have to be real creative and organized for that.
Yeah, I mean, haven't you seen, like, like every interview with Andy Serkis when he was talking about.
Oh, dude, Andy Serkis is awesome.
Planet of the Apes and shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's he's in the fucking green screen suit with the bubbles and all that shit on him.
He's
and
so talented, dude.
He's again, he doesn't know. He doesn't know what he's looking at, right? His eye line is directed, and he's reacting to nothing. But but that shows how great of an actor he is, right?
Andy Serkis, man, he's an actor. He does the motion cap acting as well, right? Because he does regular acting on the on the side. Yeah. Then he does the motion cap, and he does writing and directing. Like this dude, like straight up directs. What was the thing he just did? Damn it! Like if you look him up, you'd be surprised at the stuff he does. There he is. Look at this, Andy Serkis. Director. He the Venom movies, right? He did Venom. He did Venom 2. Mm-hmm. Right? Mowgli, which was the live action Jungle Book movie.
Yeah.
Ruins of the Empire. I mean, the dude directs movies. He stars in movies. He produces them. I mean, the dude's crazy talented. You just don't, I don't think he gets enough credit for how good he does this stuff, man. Because he's crawling on the ground as Gollum and shit, like in these things. It's nuts.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he's got the Animal Farm movie that's in development right now that he's directing.
Yeah, he's got some cool stuff coming.
Yeah.
Anyway, where was I at? Oh yeah, so we were talking about that. So yeah. So you saw Barbie, I saw Barbie.
Yeah, we did.
Dude.
We both saw Barbie.
That opening scene of the 2001 A Space Odyssey.
Yeah.
Oh my God, man. Dude. I know I called you right after I saw the movie. I was like, holy shit.
Dude, that was great. Like, the homage to Kubrick with the little dolls, with the baby dolls. Yeah.
Oh my God, that was so good.
Yeah, and it also, and it was great storytelling too, right? Because it introduces the Barbie, right?
Yeah, well, it says like before Barbie, the
Barbie
toys were the little girls playing as moms, right? Yeah. And then
the Barbie comes in as the monolith, that all the little girls look up to, and they can be something more than a mom, right? It's empowering,
those
girls to be,
those little 4 and 5-year-old girls, dude, they're sitting there and they're like all mundane, like bored, like pretending to iron clothes, and like the looks on their faces. It was so good.
Yeah, now they can be a jet pilot, right? Or they can be a commercial
astronaut
or astronaut or whatever.
And
it's empowering, but at the same time, right, in that movie, you also see the flip side.
Yes.
Right? With the girls who look up to Barbie for like the ideal beauty standards and they can't measure up.
Yep.
Right. So you have the flip side, right, of the human psychology, right? You have this message that the creator of Barbie originally wanted to impart on young women, and that's, you don't have to just be a mom. You can be all these other things if you put your mind to it, right?
Right.
But on the flip side, other people has seen it as, like I said, the ideal beauty standard.
Right. And she called it, that was who, Margot Robbie's character was ideal Barbie.
Right. Or what was it called? It is the specific word for it.
Yeah.
Ideal Barbie, but it was fuck.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Can't think of it off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Put it in the comments below if you've seen the Barbie and
like
you know the word. It's on
Barbie or some shit.
It's on tips of our tongues. But
either way, like even and then you see the growth of where she's like, well, what if I don't want to be Barbie anymore?
Right.
What if I just want to be me and not be the image that people see me as?
Well, and that also too just goes back to the original creator of Barbie and her intent for this is like ultimately her intent is that you can be the woman that you envision in your head that you want to be, whether it's a mom, whether it's a doctor, whether it's a fucking
astronaut,
or if you just do beach.
I'll beat you off right now. It was so awkward, that whole scene in a theater full of little girls, and fucking all these guys are like, I'll beat you off better. I'll beat you off the most. What does Ken do? He beaches.
He beaches.
I like when he goes to the real world and he talks to the lifeguard and he's like, I want a job. He's like, well, we don't have anything.
I don't. Yeah, he's like, I'm not a lifeguard.
I don't go in the water. I just want to stand right here and beach.
I just do beach.
He's like, no. I love his fascination with horses.
He can't get a job. Yeah. Yeah. Fucking masculinity is horses.
Oh, his dojo casa house.
The patriarchy is men running everything and horses.
He thought patriarchy meant horses. Oh, it was so good. It brought a lot of stuff out too, right? Like the whole Mattel making fun of themselves, saying, "Hey, we're a company built on foundation of women, and we've had two that's worked for us, or something like that."
Two CEOs, two women CEOs, and then Will Ferrell wanting to be called mother.
Yeah, he's like, I know what little girls want. It was good though, man. Yes, they bring in a real powerful, feminism voice, but you're going to a Barbie movie. Don't complain about that. Like, people shouldn't be complaining about that. I thought that was a great movie.
Come on. Again, if women are bringing their daughters in there, don't you want a fucking movie that tells women that they have the power to be whatever the fuck they want to be, as long as they put their mind to it? Exactly. Hard work, right? Hard work and, and a want to do something like that. Because you had like a scientist Barbie, you had like Dr. Barbie and stuff like that, right? Yep. So it's promoting this idea that women can get into those STEM fields and the medical field and all that stuff.
And I had that
make a life that they want.
I had that real big.
Or if they want to be a mother, they can go in the way of pregnant Barbie.
Dude, when Will Ferrell comes out of that hiding spot and he sees her, he's like, "Oh God!" And he's like, "I thought we canceled her." Oh shit. But the whole part of that movie was, when Ken came back and he talked about patriarchy and he got all the other men to be like, to realize, hey, you don't have to listen. You in the real world, men control everything.
You don't have to.
And you realize they took over the whole land. All the women turned into like ditzy bimbos, right? All of them. And then, Barbie came back and, realized, and then you had the speech, the big feminist speech.
What's her name? America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, and it literally on film, you saw it like free their minds.
Yes, it clicked in their head. Yeah.
And I thought that was pretty good how she got that message around. And dude, one of the other funniest scenes,
and that's a message that everybody should take away. Man, woman, whatever.
Exactly.
Take away. You should think freely.
Exactly.
Right? Think freely and be the person that you want to be. Whether it's fucking ideal Barbie or whether it's fucking I am Knuff, or if you want to be an Alan,
Yeah, Alan. What was the drinks they called beer? It was like Sudsy Beery drink or something like that. It was something weird. Some
Mojo Dojo Casa House.
Yeah, in the Mojo Dojo Casa House. She's like, you don't have to say any of those, and he's like, yes, I do. I like when he gets mad and he throws his temper tantrums and he's like throwing himself all over the place, all dramatic.
Yeah.
Ryan Gosling did great in that.
Yeah, they all did great.
Yeah. The other scene I wanted to talk about was the Scooby-Doo scene where they're running around all of the damn cubicles and they're literally just running back and forth.
And then they get to the turnstile Or like little
dude.
girl like trying to fucking buzz
He's
the
like,
car.
oh, badge, and he doesn't know how to do it, and he goes to throw it, and it just flies over the scanner, and it opens the door.
Just
oh man, it was good. It was really good. And then I'll tell you what, dude, when they got up to the crazy Barbie's house, and she like Barbie like does her flat feet thing, and she just like does the splits and like ragdolls over to look at her feet. She's like, ew. It was good. Yeah. I definitely can see how this movie made so much money.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's for one, it's finally a movie, you know, for little girls. They don't get a lot of movies.
Yeah. Well written, well paced. You know.
And Jen says it's not a movie for little girls.
No. Well, I mean, it is and it isn't, right? There's something for every tier, you know, for every age group in it.
Oh, she says it's for young adult women. Which is true. It's for all of them.
It's for all the women's. It's for all the men's.
It's for everybody. It's a good movie, you know, one that, you know, usually I say shut your brain off and watch, but don't shut your brain off on this one because it does have a powerful message.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of positive messages that you can take away from it. Even if you are battling with the, you know, with the body image issues and stuff like that, because you know, men, you know, we have body image issues too. Like, not every guy is fucking built like a Ken doll.
No.
You know,
fucking Ryan Gosling, fuck you.
Yeah, not every guy is
a goddamn piece of bread, you bastard.
Like what, 5% fucking body fat? Like, dude was ripped.
Go eat a fucking carb, you son of a bitch.
One carb,
just grain one carb. He eats one fucking. He eats like a piece of toast, and it's like. Bronk.
He's like fucking the whale.
I
did like John Cena too as fucking
the fucking mermaid.
And
holy shit, dude!
Oh fuck, dude!
Great movie.
Oh yeah.
Hey, have you seen Lockheed Martin's new helicopter?
No.
The what was it called? Defiant X? Yeah, the Defiant X.
Let me check it out.
Dude, check this out. It's replacing the Black Hawk. It's a coaxial rotor. So which means that it doesn't have to have the tail rotor in the back. But it does have
Boeing. It's Boeing.
I think it's partnership. They're partners.
Yeah.
But it's got
I'm just seeing that now.
It's got a propeller in the back to push it faster. It's pretty crazy, man. It holds 12 people, I believe. Let me see if I can pull it up for our viewers here. Let me see.
I got it.
You gonna share your screen to pull up a picture or video? Yeah, this thing. Yeah, that's it, right? No, that's not it. Oh, it's showing the.
Well, they're showing different helicopters.
I saw that.
Right.
Yeah. I saw the Chinook.
This is the development team. There it is.
There it is.
Speed.
So it's running that. Look at that rear propeller and shit to push it.
Yeah.
And it's got the coaxial to keep it from spinning.
Well, yeah, that's the survivability part of it. Because, anytime, like, if you have a fucking a rotary wing fucking helicopter like that, and it goes into a flat spin, then most pilots will not be able to pull that aircraft out of a flat spin. Like, they're going down, and they're gonna die.
Yeah. Yep. But yeah, this thing was cool, man. I was looking at it, and I was like, oh shit, that's you don't get a lot of updates on stuff like this. Black Hawk's been running forever, dude. They replaced like the Huey. Those things run for 30 years. Same thing with jets, right? I mean, hell, they're still using F-16s and shit. Like, it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
They just do minor upgrades. But I thought this was cool. It looks pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of neat. Divine X.
There you go. We showed you a thing.
Honeywell. Whoop. Honeywell. There you go. You know, you guys are making
thermostats and shit fans.
Small home appliances, shit like that. Also makes fucking aircraft engines.
War machines.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a lot of money in that.
Hells yeah. Why do you think Tony Stark did it?
Right. That's all the money. That's all the money Barbie's made.
I don't know how. Oh, damn.
This is just daily box office.
It's still crazy. It's like Avatar. Remember
like Barbie is since July 21st. Barbie is ran every day. Number one. Beep bop boop.
It was like Avatar. Remember that? We watched that for like 2 months.
Yeah.
Nothing else came out.
Well, there you go. Right here. Ooh. Wednesday, January 25th. It did not take first.
Is that an Indian film? Yeah. We get a lot. My theaters here have 2 or 3 screens that play a lot of like Indian Bollywood and stuff types of movies. Their action movies are crazy, dude. I want to watch that Triple R movie that came out, and then I want to watch that what was that other one? Looks real crazy. We watched the trailer for it. One where the guy stabs the plane. Like Sayu or something.
I don't know. When I think Bollywood, I think like those fucking weird musicals.
Oh, no.
Or like the knockoff Punjabi fucking Spider-Man.
No, I'm talking about no, dude, their action movies
VHS quality Punjabi fucking Spider-Man. That's what I think of.
They have crazy action movies. They had this. I remember this war movie, man. They had like these crazy action scenes in it. Everything was in slow mo. It was nuts. I can't think of the name of that damn movie.
Wow.
We watched. Oh, there it is. Sisu.
Sisu. Right.
Yeah. I want to watch that. That shit looks crazy. It's like walking up and just like smacking people with hammers and shit. All right. So we watched that. Let's see. Oh, dude, Baldur's Gate 3.
Right. Yeah.
That's been destroying the game market right now.
It just dropped. And you know, the funny thing is, I saw an article. I didn't read it, but I saw an article that it's setting expectations too high.
Yeah.
Now
other game developers are like pissed off now.
Game developers, further releases. It's like, come on. You mean releasing a game that isn't fucking broken?
They released a complete game.
A complete game? Yeah.
Off the bat with no major issues. And it's taking like one of the top spots on Steam at like 800. Actually, I've got the list here. But it was like 800, almost 900,000 players. It's like within the top 10 of all time already.
Yeah.
Steam actually just released their top 15 games.
Yeah.
I'm only going to give the top 5, but number 5 was Cyberpunk 2077 at 1.055 million.
Was released broken.
Yep, players. Dota 2, which I don't play Dota, but that was 1.29 million.
Mm-hmm.
Lost Ark, which was 1.3 million. Counter-Strike Global Offensive, 1.8 million consecutive players.
Yeah.
And here's their number one all time with the highest. So when I say consecutive players, that means like they track how many people are playing at one time
online. Yeah.
You know, and even if they hit it for one day, that highest number hits the mark.
Yeah.
PUBG with 3.2 million at one time.
Yeah.
Well, you remember back when Twitch,
when Battle Royale was like,
yeah, when it first dropped, Twitch was the big thing. Had just started, right? You had all the main Twitch people were all playing PUBG. That was when it was at its highest point.
Yeah.
3.2 million players at one time.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy. But yeah, Baldur's Gate, crazy game too. Dungeons and Dragons game, like,
yeah.
I don't know, like if you've seen any of the bear sex stuff or not.
The Baldur's Gate. So for people that don't know, Dungeons and Dragons obviously is tabletop RPG game, came out in the 80s. Baldur's Gate was kind of a splinter off of Dungeons and Dragons. Another one of those tabletops games kind of based on, the kind of...
No, you went silent. You stopped talking.
What?
You were talking and then you stopped.
Oh, so I think one of the guys that helped develop D&D kind of developed Baldur's Gate as like a side project. So it's all based off of like the tabletop RPGs.
Yeah.
It was like another rule book for, tabletop RPG. Go ahead and show what you wanted to show. But I mean, so the point is like Baldur's Gate's release should be the minimum industry standard.
At the ready.
Yes. Here you go.
Like, so all these developers are complaining about this because it raises gamers' expectations of how these games should be released. And like I said, this should be the minimum industry standard.
Oh yeah, yeah. People, and the one guy was like, "This is a Rockstar level release. Like it shouldn't. It shouldn't."
Yeah, without the budget.
Yeah. Did you see what was going on here?
I am strong.
No, he was rolling for charisma, right?
No. Did you see what they were doing? Watch.
No. Okay. Play back. He trying to bang more. Okay.
He is.
Okay. Yeah.
So this game doesn't hold back. There's a scene where
okay, so he's rolling for persuasion, right?
Yeah. So like,
yeah, I wasn't fucking this giant animal.
You can literally bang any like bears or whatever.
Oh, hey, it ain't no thing. Chill, buddy.
My virility.
Chill, guy.
Don't want this puny rotting written down.
It's
puny. He's breeding. He's trying to make more.
I am virile.
I am virile.
I am.
Watch this. Look at this.
Moment ruined. Passion squished.
Hey man, she was trying to get her fucked on, dude, and these guys interrupted her.
Oh, age band. They here you go.
I've come to sate you and be sated.
You wanna know I got this scar?
You follow.
I kind of want to play this game. Apparently the story. So the Baldur's Gate games have always had crazy good stories. I remember playing Dark Alliance and Dark Alliance 2. Back on the original Xbox and 360. They're overhead, style games like Diablo, but it's the combat's all dice rolls and Dungeons.
Wasn't the original Baldur's Gate like a text based?
I believe so.
Zork it was like a text based game.
Yeah, and they all take place in that same world. So
Close your eyes.
Yeah, it's they're pretty crazy, and like all your options, like you get to pick your options and stuff, and if it's something that requires a you know, you got to use charisma or use something, you know, you have to roll for it to see if it works.
Yeah. Yeah, like your typical tabletop game.
Yeah.
Oof. All right. Yeah. Hang on.
Oh, hello. But yeah, apparently, like, it's got some crazy, like, romance stuff.
Yeah. There you go. Well, let's hold hands.
It's like God of War.
Smoking a cigarette afterwards. You got all the piercings and everything, the face paint. It's time to rise. All right.
Yeah,
I've already risen.
Alright, I'm gonna back out here.
We're just watching softcore porn. This episode of.
Well, if you wanted to,
pop culture,
want to watch that, we'd put on Cyberpunk where they don't have little leaves. Cyberpunk's pretty damn graphic.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
It's you literally can make your character like you can make a big like tranny like with giant boobs and like a 14-inch penis and run around naked in the game if you wanted.
There you go. Flop, flop, flop.
You can do anything you want in that game. It's pretty nuts.
Yeah, it's almost like real life.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, how about live and let live?
That's all I got.
Like, not harming anybody, right?
Exactly. I just have a Stephen King gave praise to the last voyage of the Demeter, and
all right.
The Writers Guild is back at the negotiation table right now.
All right. They've enlightened us.
That's all I've got. That's all it says, that they're back at the negotiation.
Oh, I thought there was something specific they were talking about, because I think the governing body came back with a counter offer.
Oh yeah, see, the only article I saw was that it said that they were back. It didn't give any detail. If you can, look something up real quick.
Yeah.
I think they're at their record of like 100 over 100 days. The last writer's strike lasted 100 days, I believe.
Yeah, it says here so Okay, so yeah, there was a counter proposal from the AMPTP today. That I guess the WGA needs to obviously go over the counter proposal and all that.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean they're still negotiating. Like, yes, they were not negotiating for a while. Probably because the AMPTP were probably, trying to put up their counter proposal and all that stuff.
Yeah.
As the strike went on. And now there's a counter proposal, so, they're back to negotiation, actively negotiating.
Yeah, they've got, I mean, the one that's going to get tough is going to be this actor one because of the, it doesn't help that there's this guy that just put out a short film with full AI generated movie, essentially.
Well,
he used a AI generated script. He acted in all the scenes and then had the AI generate the characters based off the descriptions he gave. And the AI literally, like, there's no need for motion capture. The AI.
Do you know what that was called?
Oh, fuck no, man. I saw it in a like a reference, and they were talking about. I bet you we could find it. The guy literally, like, there was no need for. He was talking about how there was no need for motion capture. He just went out and acted all the scenes without having to wear any of this stuff, and the AI literally created the outfit. It was like a alien or something, and it put it over him, and it did all of the stuff for him, and it looked great.
Yeah.
see if I can.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. That's what the writers and the actors are. Again, that's one of the reasons why they're striking. Because essentially, if they do get replaced by AI, all those people are going to be out of jobs. They're not going to have livelihoods.
Yeah, exactly. It's.
So you have to think about it. You're looking at, and this is the problem with like pure capitalism, because pure capitalism takes the human element out of it, right?
Yep.
It's always going to be because corporations, they exist to make money. That's it. That's the reason why they exist as an entity, is profit, to make money. So they'll go lean on everything that they possibly can in order to maximize profit. And obviously one of the biggest costs to a company is human labor, the labor, right?
Yep.
So if they can axe that, then they can maximize their profits. So that's runaway capitalism right there. It's something that that nobody wants, right?
Yeah.
Then everybody will be out of a job.
So, I'm reading the comments. Like, I just went to YouTube and typed in AI movie, and there's so many short films, and some of them, the AI is sketchy, right? But stuff that really all you have to do is hire an FX team to go in and touch up little stuff here and there, and your whole movie's done for you in a matter of minutes. This one is the notes, right? Like, very impressive given the new technology is, or how new the technology is. Another 10 years or so, and this could give access to filmmaking to those who currently are locked out due to high production costs of movie making, right? So this, your short films, your YouTube films, stuff like that.
Your directors that are just starting out, sure. By all means, that is a way for those people to break into the industry, to actually start to be able to go and make movies with actual actors.
Yeah.
And actual budgets, bigger budgets than the tiny, shoestring budgets that, a lot of directors that start out, a lot of filmmakers that start out do.
Yeah.
But that's a means, but that's all just a means to an end, right? The end goal is to be able to go and actually work with real actors to make, high budget or mid-level budget movies, or high budget movies.
Yeah.
Depending on the filmmaker's vision, right?
Well, I mean,
there's a lot of filmmakers that are fine making indie level films, lower budget films, and there's a market for that. So
well, and
it's
a lot
all
of these small films too turn into big movies, like the Talk to Me and stuff like that, right? It's a short film that gets remade into a full production, but the thing that's obviously movie stars.
That's what it is. That's what that director is probably using that as an opportunity to get more work as a filmmaker and actually be able to, again, work with big name actors, even if it is for an indie level of production. There's a lot of, big actors that have made millions and millions of dollars in these, giant, huge box office movies that go back and act in indie films where they actually get to show their dramatic acting chops.
Yeah.
The reason why they're an actor. There's two reasons why people become actors, right? One is because they see these A-list actors that have all this fame and money and stuff like that. And then there's the actors that do it for the art. And then, sometimes, but those aren't mutually exclusive, right? There are some actors that, that do it for the art, and also they just happen to be super fucking talented and make shit tons of money at it. It's all those actors that go on to Broadway. You know?
Bryan Cranston, those types of guys that go back and forth, and I mean, some of this AI stuff, like, You know what? You know where I see this would be cool or useful is in storyboarding. Have the AI in a matter of minutes create you by you inputting your information. The AI can create you essentially your entire movie through storyboarding, and you're using this to now film your scenes with. That's where this could come into play really well because it's. I mean, like I said, it's not perfect yet, right? Some of the motion's not good and all that, but it's perfect for storyboarding because it's already moving the camera to those angles of where you need.
Pre-production development.
Yep. I think that's where this, where they'll need to go with it. Because, I mean, it looks great. So, I mean, some of these films created by AI it looks insane how good this looks. And the fact that the computer's creating everything. The voices, the script, the faces, like all of it.
Well, then you also have the other ones where, you have those people that go in to them and they type in, like the little blurb and then it comes out, but you can tell it's AI because it's not quite right?
Yeah. But, I mean...
As the technology advances, it gets better.
But what about, like...
But let's remember that, that ultimately, we don't want people to lose their livelihoods.
No. Ugh. And there has to be some way to track, right? Because think about it this way. What if, like, you and I went into AI, downloaded an AI system, generated 100 pitch ideas and had it, we just threw something in and had it create us a story pitch.
Oh, see, that's another thing,
and
right?
And now...
the pitch.
Now we can go to Netflix and say, hey... Here's 100 stories, I created them all, right? And then all we did was type in 7 keywords into AI, and it generated that for me. Like,
but that's a jumping off point, right? And that's and that's where, like you're saying, I agree that AI can be useful in pre-production development stuff, like you said, is storyboarding, or even just brainstorming ideas, right? As a way, as a like, it's like Wikipedia, right? Like when I was in college, Wikipedia was one of the first websites that you kind of go to when you're looking for like research, right? You don't use Wikipedia as you don't necessarily use it as a top level source, right? But you do use it as a way to find primary sources, and you use it as a jumping off point to be able to actually write your paper or whatever about, whatever the topic is, whatever you choose. You do use Wikipedia as kind of a jumping off point, right? And that's what AI can be, right? That's what ethical AI can be, and that's what this part of this debate with the WGA and the Actors Guild and everything is ethical AI, right? How to use AI in a way that it doesn't fucking take food from people's tables,
right?
And but also is able to help these people put food on their tables, right? Because that's ultimately what technology and automation and stuff like that is supposed to do. Is it's supposed to increase the quality of life of people, not replace them.
Right. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, if you can create pitches off of just putting in keywords and and use it to help you build your story, I can see how that can help. But that also means that the studios can do that and not have to buy that from people anymore either.
Well, that's the thing, right? You as a filmmaker are not taking the human element out of it, but the studios would be.
Yes. Hey, you're damn right. You think Warner Brothers can not pay someone $1 million for to buy their IP idea, right? Just to put it in theirs.
You could get a season 4 of The Witcher with fucking Henry Cavill. If they wanted to do this if they wanted to replace everybody with AI, then everybody
they could because they own his rights to his face.
everybody gets what they want at that point.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody wants a Witcher series with fucking Henry Cavill. Right? They don't want to give fucking Liam Hemsworth a fucking chance. You know, most people, they're all like, well, Henry Cavill's my Geralt and all this shit. It's like, dude, you haven't even seen any of, like, the test shots. You haven't seen any of the pre-production shots and shit like that with Liam Hemsworth.
I bet you
that was a good actor.
In order to, because the property is so big and, you know, it brings in so much that Netflix is going to bump, I think they're going to bump up the value of that season and really try to push, you know, hey, look how good he is. We can keep this going.
Give it a shot. There's a lot of people that are like, nah, that's it.
Oh, yeah. A lot of people think it's set up to fail, right?
Yeah. Yeah, no matter how good it is, they're gonna bitch because it's not Henry Cavill.
Well, and that goes along with everything. You know, it's, you know, I really like Jared Leto's Joker. You know,
we love here on Pop Culture Kick. We love Henry Cavill. He's our guy.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, give Liam Hemsworth a fucking chance, dude.
Exactly. You know, I liked
Jared Leto.
Jared Leto's Joker, right? I thought that was a cool take on the Joker, you know. And other people are like, "No, we're not going to go see that movie. That's not my Joker." I'm like, "Yeah, but you don't even, you know." Yeah.
Give it a like chance. every single time they come out with a new fucking Batman, right? Robert Pattinson. Everybody was like, Robert Pattinson, fucking.
He's one of my favorites now.
Twilight, fucking Twinkle, fucking vampire as Batman. Like every single time, it's like, oh, they can't top the Michael Keaton Batman. Yep. Oh, they can't top the Christian Bale Batman. It's just like they said with fucking Heath Ledger and fucking Jack Nicholson. Like people said, look, that's not my Joker. Heath Ledger's not going to be able to top the fucking...
And Joaquin Phoenix. Joker. Look at that.
And Joaquin Phoenix. Right? And you probably had... I mean, I don't know. We were kids back in 1989 when fucking Jack Nicholson played the Joker, but there were probably a lot of people that were like, fucking... They're not going to be able to fucking take... what's his name? Cesar Romero? Joker. Like, this is my Joker. Right? And you have all this fucking... It's the previous generations.
Yeah.
You know, the fucking... That hate the new generation, and you know the new generation can't be as good as, you know, my generation's fucking this and that. And it's just fucking ugly thing that that people get married to.
I mean, we've had 6 different Batmen, right? Since like '89, right? Starting with '89 and coming up, right? So we've had like 6 already. Yeah. We're about to get another one, right? With the James Gunn, you know, DC universe. So, you know, it doesn't bother me. Like, honestly, I'm not a fan of Christian Bale's Batman. I didn't like it. I liked everything else in the movies except for the Batman part. Except for Batman Begins. That one was pretty awesome, but I didn't like him in The Dark Knight or Dark Knight Rises. I like
you didn't like Christian Bale as Batman.
No.
Yeah.
You know, I thought Ben Affleck played a more accurate comic book Batman with the movement and the stuff he was doing. Jen absolutely right now is talking about how much stupid I am because of she hates Ben Affleck's Batman. She likes the others. You know, but Robert Pattinson to me is she says the worst Batman. To me, Robert Pattinson is the most accurate Detective Comics Batman. Right? So you have your Detective Comics Batman, which is he's investigating, he's thinking, he's calculating, he's right.
Yeah.
Then you have Ben Affleck's, which was more of like the Batman, which was action, beating the shit out of everything, right? So I liked both of them. Robert Pattinson actually is pretty good.
The Christian Bale, who's the Dark Knight Batman, right? And you have these, you know, and they're juxtaposed by their respective Jokers too.
Right, their Rogues Gallery makes the big difference.
Yeah,
you know, Val Kilmer's Riddler is a much different Riddler than what Robert Pattinson. Val Kilmer is her favorite Batman.
Val Kilmer was underrated.
Oh, dude,
honestly, I think the worst Batman was the Clooney Batman. It's fucking by far that was the worst.
Clooney had one of the better Bruce Waynes, but right, because he has that suave, cocky attitude a little bit.
Well, yeah, I mean that's fine. but so did Michael Keaton, but it was like muted a little bit.
Yes.
He wasn't as cocky. He was still suave. Like he was still, debonair, like mysterious, but not as overplayed as fucking Clooney. Like Clooney, like I said, Clooney's was the worst Batman in my
No,
the Schumacher
absolutely.
Batmans were bad. The only things that were good about the Schumacher Batmans were the fucking villains. Because you had fucking Mr. Freeze, right? Arnold, as over the top, as over the top as Clooney and Chris O'Donnell were playing.
Yeah.
And Lucy Silverstone. Well, hers was better. She wasn't over the top as as Batwoman, but it was really Mr. Freeze's movie.
Yeah, and Uma Thurman.
Yeah.
And Bane.
So Slant Bane.
So I just watched DC released all these documentaries. I've been watching them, and after Batman Forever, right, which originally was supposed to be Tim Burton's movie, right? It was supposed to be his.
Yeah.
Warner Brothers said, "Hey, why don't you go make something else instead?" Right, and so they sent them off to go make something else.
Yeah.
Because of the backlash off of returns. So, but when it came time for Batman,
that was Nightmare Before Christmas, I think. Actually,
he went and did.
No, because it was 91, right?
Yeah.
91 was Nightmare, and then 92 was Returns.
Yeah.
Right.
He went and did like Pee-wee's. No, he already did Pee-wee's Big.
Yeah.
I don't know. Edward Scissorhands or something. I don't know, but
might have been.
But so when Batman and Robin came out, the whole movie was changed because in this documentary, Schumacher talks about it, and the actors talk about it. They're like, "Why are we changing outfits so much? Why are we doing this? Why are there so many vehicles? What is all of this?
Why are there nipples on the Batsuit?"
The toy manufacturers are the ones that came in and said, "Hey, we need more of this. The merchandise.
Right.
We need more of this.
Batman needs nipples for the merchandise."
Well, the whole story about
nipples market to kids.
The whole story about the nipples was that they wanted them to appear like Greek god statues. But they didn't put the nipples on the girl. They put them on all the men.
Such a disappointment.
No Alicia Silverstone nipples. But yeah. Anyway, AI. It's heating up and
it's here. It's queer. Get used to it.
We'll see what they do with it, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but I mean, the biggest thing is once again, like I said earlier, technology and automation is supposed to make our lives easier, right?
Yeah.
It's supposed to make, even the working class and stuff like that are not supposed to be fucking suffering, trying to figure out how we're going to make our next fucking dime.
Right. Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of other countries dropping videos of like, they're like Americans. They work 50, 60 years so that way they can get 10 to 15 years of vacation before they die. They're like the rest of the world doesn't do that.
And also, nowadays you can't even fucking buy a house with one job.
No.
Right? Like you could feed a family and fucking and pay the mortgage of a fucking house on your job. And we can't fucking do that anymore.
No.
But no, that's our fault. That's the millennials' fault, right? That's a whole generational thing again, right? All the fucking boomers are like, why don't you millennials fucking own and buy fucking houses?
Well, because all the houses are selling for $700,000 now.
And like, right? Because you have inflation of the prices, but at the same time, the fucking dollar is going down in fucking value. So we're fucked.
That's why
you boomers. It's your fucking fault.
A bottle of water, is like $2.50 now.
Well, I mean, don't even get me started on the bottle of water thing. Right? The guy that invented the bottled water. Water doesn't need to be bottled. Right?
Either way, like
you know,
a bottle of soda is like almost $3 now.
because you think about it, like, yeah, because you think about it, because like, you know, what, a 20-ounce bottle of fucking water, right? That you buy at like a gas station or something like that. You know, compared to 20 ounces of water that you just, you know, pour out of the fucking tap.
Costs you like 0.01 cent.
Yeah, yeah. Right, the guy that invented the fucking idea, the concept of bottled water was a fucking, you know, business marketing fucking genius. But at the same time, it's a fucking scam. It's a ripoff because it's just bottled tap water.
Yeah,
Just convenience. That's all it is.
It is.
But you know, yeah.
Well,
you know,
I mean, a lot of that.
That's why. That's why. You know, because because marketing. You know, these corporations have been pushing bottled water, you know, and all this stuff to get you to spend more money, so your dollar is less valuable.
Yep.
And you're fucking trapped in that, spending your money on fucking shit that's over fucking priced, you know, that they say you need, right? And yeah, you can't afford anything else.
Yeah.
And you work until you fucking die.
I saw something. I don't remember where I was reading it. That said that these now that more people are carrying like bottles and reusable cups and like the Yetis and the stuff, they carry them around with them a lot. That those types of things now, especially now, because you can get those like Brita ones that have like the Brita filters in them.
Yeah.
So you can go anywhere and fill up your water, and it's, you know, filters through. It took a massive chunk out of the bottled water market because of all of these reusable things that people are, you know, you can get the ones where you can put fresh fruit in it, and you can get all the, you know, that took a massive hit out of that market.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's better for the environment, right?
Oh yeah,
because you have less fucking plastic going into the oceans.
Yeah, did you see? What was it? A TED talk where they're like, "You want to know how you save the environment?" He was like, "Stop recycling because it doesn't go anywhere."
Reuse, right?
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There was that cycle, right? Remember, like when we were in like elementary school, it was reduce, reuse, recycle, right? Obviously, reduce waste, reuse what you can, recycle what you can. And the thing is it's not about don't recycle, but it's just reuse more, right?
Yeah.
That's the ticket, right?
Yeah, it was something like the recycling companies, it's cheaper for them to just to charge you to recycle the stuff.
Yeah.
And then they just take them and dump it anyway.
And dump it in the landfill. Yeah.
And then they said that one of those recycling companies,
because you have all these other industries. It's always been about like these lobbies. You have all these other industries like the aluminum industry. You know, the guys that actually go and pull the aluminum, that mine the aluminum out of the earth to make fucking soda cans. They want to push against the reusing and recycling of aluminum that's already been pulled out because, I mean, I get it. It's jobs, right?
Right.
You know, but at the same time, it's like we also have there's one planet in the universe that we know that has intelligent life. And, you know, we're fucking it up.
I'm trying to find this story. What was it?
But yeah, I mean, recycling was sold to us. It's a big fucking business, a big fucking moneymaker. But yeah, like you said, a lot of that stuff still ends up in landfills.
Yeah, what was it? This is the federal prosecutors about CRT. Apparently, there's a electronics recycling company that's stockpiling all those things.
Those tubes.
Yeah. And they said it's like dangerous to have all of that in one area. Like they're pulling them all and stocking them.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of like, you know, poisonous chemicals in those cathode ray tubes.
Yeah, it's like, you know, hazardous waste.
And then they can leach into, you know, drinking water and stuff like that.
It's what was it, man? It was It was a recycling company that ended up. They took like the big federal cases going against them. I saw it in the news the other day. They took They took all of their cans. They charged people to recycle. They took them and then they took truckloads of it to like another state or something. And then recycled them through there where they got money back.
Yeah.
So they were taking the money to do it and where they were supposedly getting the tax breaks for this business to do it. But then they were hauling them. And the reason they found out was like all of the cans and everything that was being recycled all were coming from a specific state or something.
Yeah.
I'd have to look it up because I'm sure I'm getting it wrong and something, but it was this massive scandal on the recycling business. This huge company, like just
huge company. It's a corporation, right?
Yeah.
What's the bottom line?
They found a way to make extra money off of it, and
because different states have different laws in all those different types of industries. They have different regulations.
Yeah.
Right. So they truck it. They truck They truck all of the recycled material out of a state that has a lot of really stringent regulations, place like California or something, and they take it to a state that has kind of more lax regulations, and then they just double their fucking money because they can charge over here and then they can charge in here too.
Yeah, and I guess
again, it's about profit.
Yeah, well, I guess they broke some rule because the feds are coming down on them for that now.
Yeah.
Double dipping or whatever. I don't know. Either way, we've hit 2 hours. It's time to go.
2 hours.
That's what happens when Keith isn't here to get yelled at when it's time to go.
Yeah, right.
All right. Well, I'm Nick Zilla.
I'm Mark Becker.
He thinks, and this was your pop culture politics podcast. We went from ancient aliens to recycling scams.
We're going to kick some pop culture into your human brain.
Or lizard brain.
We talked about movies. We talked about the Barbie movie. Lizard
That's
brain.
True. Lizard brain.
Back to them lizard people.
Oh, I gotta go take some adrenochrome.
I was about to say, or am I a lizard people?
All right. I'm out of here.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
I don't know how to put this, but the greatest trick, kind of a big deal, the devil ever pulled,
Really?
was convincing the world. People know me.
In the name of God, now I know what it feels like to be God.
Jesus wept.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Listen, kid. There are two things you don't know about the Earth. One is me, and the other is Godzilla.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Our arrows will blot out the sun.
Then we will fight in the shade.
How dare you say that to my face?
Well, I'd say it behind your back, but my car's only got half a tank again.